Hello again, YouTube. This is Rob. We're continuing on with the Sergeant family here from my tutorial videos because I'm exploring some concepts with you. And I was on my way to moving up to the nobility class when I found I can just explore the big family concept right now because Pamosi the Humdrum and Eman had 5 love children. Yeah. So, I had the first 2 on purpose, and then the other 5 just kind of came about because I had them mixing it up with each other to make tokens, and now I have 7 kids. So yeah, not so humdrum after all. What we have is Pakaru, who likes Jamila, Sama, and Lapis. Jamila, who dislikes Rennet. Kawab, who dislikes Lapis. Lapis, who likes Kawab and Rennet. Sama, who likes Pakaru and Kawab. Cash, who likes Jamila and dislikes Pakaru. And Rennet, who dislikes Kawab. Now, Pakaru has someone who dislikes him. That's a pain, because we're probably going to be playing Pakaru going forward. Pakaru has a B in sailing, C in forging, B- in plowing, and a AA in NCOs, and is by far the most skilled character I have going here. Jamila, my backup, the girl, and I'll point out that girls have hair, boys have shaved heads. You're not going to be able to tell the difference otherwise up here, unless you mouse over and you see boy or girl in the upper right-hand corner. Okay? So, what do you care if they're boys or girls? And for the most part, you don't, actually. Girls can take over inherited elite ruling positions as well as boys can. I think boys tend to have a stronger edge on the inheritance factor, at least the firstborn. But we won't be able to explore the inheritance thing until we're ready to move up to the next generation. I'll take you through the skills, because I have been spending, as you can see, I don't have a whole lot of tokens left over here. I've been spending tokens educating the kids to develop a strategy, which I do. And in addition to educating Pakaru and Jamila, I have also taken some time educating Kawab, Lapis, Same, Cash, and Rennet here in at least one skill. For example, Rennet here is an A- in forging and F in everything else. Cash is a B in forging and a D in plow and F in everything else. Same is a D- in plowing and a AA in NCOs. Lapis is a D- in forging and a AA in NCOs. Kawab is a C- in forging and a AA in NCOs. So I can use these people later on, or even now, to make tokens. And I'm still treating them equally if I have them make tokens for me. By putting the kids to work, as you can see, I now have more tokens than I had before, which will give me more options moving around, but also means I can spend more equally on education in the future. And that's even if I don't generate any tokens on the turn, and I didn't, and as you can see, the generation is coming to an end. Now, Mom is in a position where we can try again, because she's not too far forward. I think it's unlikely she's going to die right away, but it's possible. Dad's got to move, though. Dad's in a place where he can't just sit around. So I'm going to move him up to this. Strategically, I think I should move up to the ship, just because. See, I didn't see that there's a third person there. You got to watch out for this. 1, 2, 3. I'm crowded out. Now I'm just positioned to catch any of these 3 instead of sitting here with 2 other folks waiting for these people to fall ahead of me. Practically, if I'm hoping to make tokens, this might work out better for me. But I'm not going to lie here. I didn't see that there's actually 3 folks in this spot. I thought I was just going to move into there because I want to move ahead. Now, this here is gambling, which somebody else innovated, so we know nothing about gambling. Annette took over for brewing. So we no longer have any brewing tokens, as I've discussed in other videos. But that's all we're going to get into on that at the moment. I don't really have enough tokens to educate the kids without using up singleton tokens. So I'm just going to let them play. And that means they'll learn a little bit about something. But also they'll spend time liking each other better. Hopefully. Yeah. Children, Sammy and Rennet tussled and giggled for an hour. So, that's a positive thing. Sometimes you'll see some rather terrible things happen, like they stick each other with knives. I mean, really, they tell terrible lies about each other, they'll cut each other. Like, really? But, yes. Move Dad up to NCO. And we're going to move Mom up to the irrigation and bypass those beads because we're getting too far back. And again, I'm just going to let the kids play because I'm still hoping to squeeze a little bit of education out of the first two kids. Oh, we got a gambling token. Wasn't expecting that. That must mean that this guy is either the innovator family. Now, what do we have? Mom's in a position to make tokens. And, great. Made a token for the other guy, not for ourselves. Dad can move here. In fact, it doesn't matter what token I spend, really. As long as I don't spend an NCO token. Yeah. Let's have the kids make tokens, because we need to get some inheritance together. We need some options. Things are coming to an end. As you can see, we made about half of them made tokens. That worked out. And as you can see, the wheel's really swinging back here, so we need to kind of be clear. Children, Picard and Rennet fought. They screamed and hit. After punishment, they didn't speak for days. Great. So Rennet, my little problem child, is fighting with Picard. Thanks. Anyhow, at least they didn't stop disliking each other. So, because I've been treating them equally, things are kind of evening out. You can see here the kids aren't liking or disliking or hating or loving each other. And that means they won't interfere with each other in the future. Or they'll be a lot less likely to do so. And honestly, that's best avoided, that they mess around with each other like that, because it costs you tokens. If they love each other, they'll help out, which is great. But it is vastly more annoying to have one who's actually disruptive. Now, Mom needs to move forward, otherwise we're going to die. I don't know if this is going to be enough, but we'll see. I'm going to spend a forging token on Picaro. Because Picaro and Rennet hate each other so much, I'm going to spend a forging token on Rennet. And Jamila is my backup, so I'm going to spend a token on Jamila. The rest of them are going to work. And yeah, I know, treat them all equally. But as long as it's not wildly different for extended periods of time, you're okay, for the most part. Oh, Mom got eaten by the crocs. Well, see, it's not safe being over here. Now, Jamila hates Sammy. Sammy doesn't hate him back, though. So that's really only a problem if we end up playing Sammy, which is not really going to be very likely. He's kid number 5. But you can see that the inheritance is divided amongst the various kids, and it has to do with their skill and their position in birth order. So, you can see Picaro is due to inherit 3 NCO tokens, 1 forging token, and 1 plow token. And as I said, the oldest always gets to split the difference. So, because there's only 1 plow token, it's going to go to Picaro. Jamila gets 3 NCO tokens and 1 forging token. Coab gets 2 NCO tokens. Lapis gets 2 NCO tokens. Same gets 2 NCO tokens. Cash gets nothing, and Rennet gets nothing, which is unfortunate for them. Having no tokens at the start means you're required to either stand still or fall back to pick a partner. But we're not really done yet, though, and we can actually have the kids do an action. And that means we might be able to bolster the inheritance if I go and have them actually do action, so that I can squeeze any last moment of skill out of them if I want to treat them differently. I'm going to treat them equally because I don't really want to make any last moment enemies. And who knows, the tokens might come in handy. Okay. So, that's not really improved the inheritance of the primary characters, as you can see, although Lapis now gets 3 NCO tokens. And I think, yeah, Forge token goes to Co-op now. But hey, your backup's a little better off than it was. We're going to press the button. Watch Dad die. Yep, there's Dad gone. And that's the end of the generation. So this is our last moves. This is the last things we can do with the family. And I'm going to push Picaro a little more on an educational point. Just because I am going to be playing Picaro, and at the moment no one hates him. But I'm going to have the rest of them make tokens for me. Any chance to improve the inheritance, as it were. Okay. So yeah, now we get 4 NCO tokens, 1 forging token, and 1 plow token. Jamila will have 3 NCO tokens and a forging token if I need to use her. Coab will have 3 NCO tokens and 1 forging token if I need to use him. Lapis will have 3 NCO tokens. Same will have 3 NCO tokens. Cash even gets a forging token now, and Rennet has nothing. But, you know what, Rennie's been a little jerk all along, so I don't care. Moving on to Picaro. Right, so we'll attempt the right. The right went well, so we have positive traits. Inspired, optimist, bold, or nurturing. Because we're going to move up in the world, I'm going to try to be bold. Now, Picaro the Bold, as you can see, has reasonable skills. And our wife options are B, B-, and B. Again, I'm pretty sure that the wives you get to choose are based on the GPA of the character that you're bringing forward. So, again, education's very important for your kids. And the tokens to move around is important too. Because I have these tokens, I now have choices. I can fall back to the shipping token back here to marry Sitpep, who has a GPA of B and 4 tokens in her dowry. I can move forward to this NCO spot here to try to marry Kentantika, who has a B and 4 tokens. And Cleopatra has a B- and 4 tokens. So I'm sorry, Cleopatra, but I don't have the shipping token anyway. Point of note. Moving forward puts me strategically better placed to go and grab beads early. Moving back will improve her dowry and give me a chance to make tokens, because we're both making tokens. All 3 of us in this spot are going to make tokens, and then that means we'll have more wealth to be able to move ahead and do things with. Also means the kid gets made pretty quick. So moving backwards is what I'm going to do, since it's equal to the waifu would be for going forward. I made a token. We get the courtship thing. Here's hoping. However little I care about you, my shop would not have lasted this long, Sitpep admitted. Okay, so, yep, and there's an enemy, which is Something I've been meaning to show everybody all along. Now, I said enemies are red and white and allies are green. If you're colorblind, enemies are the checker ones. Okay? We made some. The other one we could have married is jealous of the situation. And remember to get the kid out of the way. Now, remember, he loves his wife, but his wife doesn't love him back. Sitpep could care less, really. This means that Sitpep will not be able to slingshot her husband, Picaro, forward, but Picaro can sling his wife, Sitpep, forward. Okay? So, you need to lead with the husband in this case, and follow with the wife. And you can't move into spaces with the enemy. The enemy will block you. Okay? You won't be able to make tokens if you're sitting on the same spot with them unless they move to you. If you're sitting with them and you're like, oh, let's make some tokens. Yeah, I don't care if they're my enemy. It's not going to work. You can't move into those spots voluntarily either. So she's going to be a pain. And that means, let's say I was on this NCO spot, which I'm not at the moment. I wouldn't be able to move into this NCO spot. It's blocked. It's as if it was full, because she's there. But we're going to make some tokens because we're back here. Right. And as you can see, Sitpep is pretty reasonable with their skills, but not very good with NCOs. But that way more than made up for the fact that we're great with NCOs. So, educate the boy a little. His name is Resita. Oh, it's actually a girl, Resita. See, hair, right? Hair, girls. I was going to end it here, but since I have an enemy, I'm going to show you some stuff about the enemy, because why not do a twofer? So we have an enemy here, and our enemy's name is, well, it's not shown, but just as enemy block spaces and work. Okay, but it was the wife who we decided not to marry. Now, I can't use this NCO spot. It's blocked. If I try to move there, it's not going to work. It's just going to fail. It's going to waste my time and my token. What I have to do is move through spaces that are not with this person. Now, like I said, I need to slingshot the wife forward. So I have quite a few forging tokens, and forging is going to get me quite a way down the line. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. And I do want a backup kid just in case. I mean, they might make more love children, but I'm going to try to avoid having lots of love children. And we got a boy, Almus. Right. Now, enemies can move on to you. They're free to do what they want because they're jerks. Okay? They only block you. You're not being a jerk back to them. You can't even make the game make you be a jerk back to them. It's a one-way street. They're blocking you entirely. I can't fall back to this person right now and make tokens. It'll block my work. I have to move forward because I can't skip this guy either. Otherwise, I'd be back here and make a token back here with this person back here, Mechapir. So I have to move Dad forward if I'm going to do anything with Dad, just because there's nothing else for it. You can stand still, make one bead point, and do nothing else. No, don't want to do that. I'm going to move ahead to the shipping spot here. And we got an owl. Brief Tale of Picaro the Bold. Now, these generally don't have choices. These are results are determined entirely based upon your attributes. Ningizida and Picaro met to discuss working together. They often share techniques and discuss the work of other potters. And apparently I stole a new design from Ningizida, because I'm bold. Ningazita never spoke with Picaro again. I have made another enemy. Great. And as you can see, this is a guy. He's got his arms folded. He looks different from her. So, great. I was going to move the wife back to be with the husband and make tokens with these two, but now I can't do that because I have an enemy there. Thanks, Picaro. So, let's grab some beads. Okay, so what happens if I try to have Picaro work when he's sitting with two other folks and there's two enemies behind him? Let's find out. He moves back, no work happens. Okay? You've seen it for yourself, we've moved to the spot, and nothing actually was accomplished. But it does mean I made it freed up a spot for Mom to move backwards and I can get some productive work done. Also, my enemies, if they're hoping to use a shipping token, are now blocked. They can't move into the space because there's three of us there. I'm hoping they were, because they're enemies, and they're jerks. So, although apparently Picaro was a big jerk to one of them. And the plow's been replaced. Here you can see the invention being discovered by this other person. Apparently the plow's been replaced by Papyrus. My Papyrus token has been wiped out. My Papyrus skill is worthless. I mean, I don't have no Papyrus skill. My plow skill is wiped out. See, Papyrus, negligible. Papyrus, negligible. Papyrus, F. Papyrus, F. They got the competitive advantage. If I'm going to try to pick up anything that's not a Papyrus token, I have to actually be there through other means. Usually by using the limit. So, that's that. Now, remember again about the wife and husband slingshotting off each other. You need to have two tokens to be able to do that kind of thing. And the enemies are standing in the way. I could move Dad up to the NCO spot here, but I can't. Blocked. I'd be able to leapfrog on the forging token, but I only have one forging token. Shipping, I'd have to move Dad up to here, and then Mom can move forward to this shipping spot here. I can't move directly over the Mom because Mom doesn't actually love Dad. It's just Dad loves Mom. Ain't this a pain? Look at this. You need to avoid enemies. But it's, frankly, as you saw, I didn't do anything to make them happen. They just happened. You're just going to have to deal with this. It makes the game more interesting, in my opinion, but it's something to work around. But hey, maybe you can manipulate the game a bit to make them die. First off, don't make any tokens with them, if you can avoid it. So don't push yourself in a position where they're going to use you to make tokens. Secondly, you can try to move ahead down the wheel to leave them in the back. And maybe, if they don't make any tokens and they're far enough back, they're going to fall off the wheel and die. Oh no. But there's very little you can actually do actively against them. And you're just going to have to cope with the fact that they're there. You can only use these other three NPCs for making tokens as well, because these two folks aren't much use to you. It's really annoying. Now, I do want to grab the half bead, so I'm going to do that with Mom. And I'm going to play my NCO token and probably end up back here on this forging spot. Thank you, enemy. Now, so you can see I've used the enemy to my advantage there by moving up and being blocked from the spot I was going to go to a spot I actually wanted to go to. I don't really have a lot of tokens for educating, so I'm going to let the kids sit and play. See, now we manufactured tokens there with our enemy, but we had nothing to do with that. We had no control over that situation. I'm going to send Mom back to Dad because this is one of our chances to manufacture tokens. Even if it does cause me a love child, and it does not, thankfully. Papyrus and Papyrus. I have no Papyrus skill, and I have no Papyrus tokens. I have Forging. I have Shipping, which I'm blocked from. I have NCO. I can't move back, because it'll just be wasting my time. What do we want Dad to do? Ain't it annoying? I'm going to have Dad stand still, in the hopes that we can catch someone falling back so we can make tokens. Hopefully the NPC will move back, and that means this one will get knocked back behind us. And that will make life a little easier, because then I won't have this jerk in front of me. But we'll see. In the meantime, I do have some tokens to educate kids, at least. As you can see, we got 1 point because Dad did nothing. Right, we're in the back. We're in the back by ourselves. That's okay. Why? Because now we can just manufacture tokens on our own. And not have to worry about who we're sharing them with, although we do have the possible love children that come from that. And, yeah, I got 2 love children. Well, this is how it goes, isn't it? Fortunately, because I did all that time making tokens, I have some tokens to spend. Right, here's our chance to get ahead of these jerks. I'm going to send Dad out. And then I'm going to leapfrog Mom. Mom's now positioned to catch this person if they fall back. Dad's not positioned to catch anybody, as you can see, but that's because we were using him to move Mom forward. I'm not going to spend tokens to educate the kids this turn because I can't spend equally. As you can see, the enemy moved up to be parked next to me. They can do that as much as they want. I can't do the same thing. Yeah, I know it's not fair. Right, we're going to grab this half bead, because if we can move up, all the kids will get C's in the new skills. And honestly, we can avoid these enemies because they'll be down here, and they won't be able to come up to the new class like with me, where I'll be. Leaving them behind. Okay. As you can see, we're not doing great on the education front, but it could be worse. There's a new forging token, but I don't have a forging token. I have an NCO token and I have a shipping token. Unfortunately, there are spots unoccupied ahead of me that can be used for those tokens to land on, and so I can't use the limit effect. Boo. But what I could do is move Dad to the shipping spot. And we got an owl, so we're going to read the owl, despite the horrible things that could probably happen. Picaro and a wealthy trader sat down outside the city walls to drink. A poor woman selling beer had tempted them with a strong smell of barley and honey. A hollow stalk of straw stood in earthen mugs. They discussed making higher quality pottery. They agreed to spend time, effort, and wealth first to explore new designs before heavily investing in the production and sale. And that made me some tokens. Yay! A positive thing. So, let's do what we were going to do. I'm going to have Mom slingshot off of Dad to go and grab that token down there, that bead down there. Okay. And the kids are going to sit and spin, I'm afraid. Now, I can't grab this with the limit because the limit's actually the shipping spot here. I can't move backward. Well, actually, I can move backwards. This is full. So I can move Mom back to here. And now I can move Dad back to there, too. Made us not a nice big pile of tokens. Right, what do we want to educate some kids in? Well, my first choice kid is going to get whatever I want to spend. The other ones are going to get, this is the backup kid, so I might spend other things here as well. But my objective is to actually just get a kid up to, say, an A level in at least one skill. I've educated them all. That's the important thing. Not that I've educated them all in the same thing. Now, I can't move back to make tokens because the enemy is behind us. So, we're going to move forward because that's what we... Well, I mean, I could stand still and hope that this guy falls back. And, you know what? Why not? I can't get a papyrus token anyway. There's no beads down here for me to grab. These ones behind me are gone. I need to educate the kids, so I'm not going to move. I'm just going to spend some tokens on education. As you can see, we now have Lotus with an A, Kazumde has an A, Almos has a variety of skills, B, B, F, and A minus, and Rosita, our primary, has A minus, B plus, D minus, and B plus. So, not too shabby. We earn 2 points by standing still. Unfortunately, the person we were hoping would fall back didn't fall back, but it does mean that we're now at the back by ourselves. And while I'm going to make some more love children, I'm going to make a lot more tokens. Yep, there we go. More love kids. So, what do I need to educate this person in? I can't get papyrus. I don't have any papyrus tokens, but what I do have is an NCO token. Bring that up to maybe an A. Yep, okay. And I'm going to spend a shipping token here. A, okay. This is one of my specialty people, so they're already at A on forging, and they're at A on forging. They don't know anything. I'm going to spend NCO tokens on them, because we make a lot of NCO tokens. And I'm going to spend an NCO token on this one, and let's spend a shipping token on that one. Children, Rosita and Lotus share a youth's adventure protecting and helping each other. So, because we've been treating kids equally, they're starting to like each other. That's good. Oscar likes Amos. Lotus dislikes Rosita. Rosita likes Lotus. So, while Rosita likes Lotus, Lotus dislikes Rosita. I guess that's a one-way relationship. Oh well. What we have here is, again, I continue to try to do this, running the risk of more love children, although I can, there we go, the last love child has been had. I can't have any more love children. There's no more slots for them. 7 kids, that's it. Can't have any more. I'm going to let them play. And you know what? Because I can't have any more kids, woo, lots of whoopee. Alright, I want to move you up to forging. I'm going to move you up to forging as well. I'm going to give you a sailing token. I'm going to give you an NCO token. You're getting an NCO token. You're getting an NCO token. And you're going to get a forging token. That leaves me with one of each token. I continue to specialize the kids because we're hoping to manufacture tokens with the kids. Because if you're going to have a whole load of kids, you might as well put them to work. Right. 2, 3, 4. We're doing quite well here. Up. Okay, well, we got 4 tokens out of that. That's about 50%. That's great. That's actually better than half. We're going to need to be moving. Bad things are going to happen if we continue to sit here. Child almost told a terrible lie about Rosita. Aw, man. Why you all gotta dislike Rosita? Just because she's my chosen one. Okay. So we need to move the parents out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the NCO slingshot. I'll let the kids play. Hopefully that'll equal out a little of the we hate each other. Can't move back to work. I have to keep moving. I'm blocked on my forging spots. But my shipping spots are open. Okay, another wave of education. Children Lotus and Rosita played more often with each other than with friends. Okay, so Rosita likes Lotus and Amos. Rosita... Let's see, where's Lotus? Lotus likes Rosita and Amos now. See, we managed to turn this around. Good. Don't want kids messing around with each other and making things awkward. Let's do the slingshot again so we can get out of here. Forging, I think, is the thing to do. And let the kids play. It's the only way they'll learn a papyrus skill. I'll send Dad back to make a token with this person way back here. Mom can't move back because we'll end up with this jerk who won't make anything with us. So I'm going to move her forward using this NCO token. I have enough tokens for some education, so that's what I'm going to do. Shipping. Well, sailing it should be. As you can see, the kids are getting fairly competent, if specialized. Well, it's the end of the world and we know it. Child Lotus followed Rosita wherever she went all day. Rosita loves Lotus. Aww. Lotus doesn't love her back, but Lotus loves Rosita. Rosita loves Lotus. So that's nice. Okay, I need to keep Dad alive. The easiest way to keep Dad alive would be to move as far forward as possible. I'm going to spend my foraging token. We get an owl. And with great trepidation, I press the button. First plaster on the walls and a sumptuous meal greeted the priest. Picaro had been expecting the auditor for nearly a week. Half his stock was buried beneath the table. Picaro cried out against the cold, empty eternity that awaited them. Oh! Priest comforted Picaro by counting all his pots twice to prove Picaro's worthiness to the gods. So we tried to rip off the tax collector. The tax collector basically went, no. No, I know what you're up to. And as you can see, that cost us tokens, and we've only been able to manufacture one token. So I was going to educate, but I'm going to actually have the kids make tokens, because we need some token variety for the inheritance coming up. But also, I want to keep some maneuverability options. Because I got to deal with these two enemies on the table. And I'm sorry, I was going to make a much shorter video, but then we got the enemies involved, and we're, fully exploring the kids thing. So it's a twofer. Okay. So, where to go? Thing is about big camp families is you're probably not going to have a big inheritance for anybody. The most you're going to be able to do is get a few tokens together. See, we got to move Mom out of here, but Mom can slingshot off of Dad, so that's okay. And because Mom doesn't love Dad, we can just have Dad park next to Mom. Like so. Right, we have a fair bit of tokens available to us. I'm going to spend some. Now these are my primary three, so they're the ones with the skill diversity. Okay. This one back here, Lotus. I wonder if we can get a AAA. No. Maybe somebody will. Sent the enemy back. The enemy's nearly dead, yes. Child Cosme stole food from Osaze, screeching, that's mine. Yeah. Behave. Okay. But because this enemy's back here, I can't move backwards either. And because this enemy's here, I can't move up to that spot purposely. What I can do is park on the spot behind it, because we can move up to that. Or I can stand still at the moment, which is what I'm actually going to do, in the hopes that some of these people move down behind us, and or blocking this person from coming up here. So we're sitting on forge, so we're not actually blocking, because they'd have to land on this forge token first. But what the heck? It's the sentiment, isn't it? I'm going to have the kids make tokens. And as you can see, that went quite well. Ah! The jealous wife is dead. Yay! probably a lot of folk out there who might wish that to happen, but we're old, and we can't move up to this last spot because enemy is standing there. We're probably doomed. I'm just going to go ahead and bite the bullet and make tokens where I'm sitting. And the parents are probably going to die. This is our last chance to educate kids, really. What do I want to do with this one? I'm going to give you a sailing token. Give you an NCO token. Give you a sailing token. Give you an NCO token because we've got a lot of those. You get an NCO token. You get an NCO token. And you get a fortune token. Yeah, they all died thanks to the enemy jerk. So, this is it for the kids. This is the last things we can do with them. I'm going to work backwards because I'm making kids work. But I might educate the last one. Or a few. We're making some inheritance. Right, so where are we? Yeah. Okay, that's it. We're going to take Rosita forward. And she passed her right. I'm going to be nurturing. Why not? Hey, our love choice is immediately behind us. And, well, they're all C pluses, so there's not much to choose from. And we're in front, so falling back. And we'll try courting. And while Rosita loves him, Meklu does not love Rosita back. So we're back to that situation. Come on, kid. Nope. See, kids aren't guaranteed, folks. We'll have to have them hit the same spot again or use Impetus of Love to have another shot at a kid later. Let's see, Meku's good with sailing and forging, and we're pretty good with everything except Papyrus. Okay. Right. Remember what I said about one loving the other? Right. So, Mom loves him, Dad doesn't love Mom. So if I play this shipping token, we're going to bounce Dad off of Mom and send him way out front. Meanwhile, we'll send Mom back to manufacture a little more. And because we had Impetus of Love, we might be able to get a kid here. Okay, we got our kid, Tepia. A boy. Who knows nothing. But that's how it always is. And we'll spend a token on that. Okay, so no enemies, no allies. We have a kid. You've seen 7 kids for 2 generations now. You really don't need to see more about this right now. I'm going to go and jump ahead to where we're moving up in the world. And that'll be the next video, I believe. Unless I got something else to show you. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. And I hope you found this useful. And again, if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. It's YouTube. You know what to do. Thanks a lot. Bye.